All right, everybody, it is Friday night. It is Friday night in Oklahoma. We have made it to the very end of the week. We had one storm system that came through here with just some incredible rain totals, and we have more that are on the way. So here's how much rain fell actually with this most recent system. And you know what's just like crazy about this is that there are some parts out across western Oklahoma that picked up more rain this past week. They picked up more rain than they typically see during the entire winter. Like, look at this slap out, 3.5 inches of rain. Beaver, over 3.25 inches of rain. Hooker, over 3 inches of rain. Hollis, almost 3 inches of rain. Eric, almost 3 inches of rain. Over 3 inches of rain in Arnett. So this is just like fantastic to see. You love to see it. And across the OKC Metro, about almost 1 inch of rain. But every single weather station in Oklahoma this week recorded rain, and decent rain too, by the way. Like, let me see what the driest spot in the state was this week. Probably looks like Miami, 0.3 of an inch. So that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to see out of this. And you know what? We have another storm system coming in. So let me show you the latest 6 to 10 day rain outlook that we have in place here. So the way that you look at this is that if you are in green, then you have a good chance for being wetter than normal during this stretch right here, the 21st to the 25th. So that's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. The darker the green, the better your chances are of being wetter than normal. So we see that pattern really favoring the south, which is typical, by the way, during the during a strong El Nino and during the cool season. So very wet going into late next week with another storm system. And then after that, even as we approach New Year's Eve, you can see here between Christmas and shortly thereafter, still finding wetter than normal conditions across the west coast, the south, and going to the east. So basically, we have some pretty good moisture chances. This storm system that came in just recently is not the only one that we have in the forecast. So let's kind of go over some of the weather model data that we have coming in, because there are also chances of a white Christmas for some of us. And we'll go over what the data is telling us right now and then what we still got to watch in the coming days. Okay, so here's our storm system right here. That's moving to the east. We'll get like a kind of a trough that's going to drop down in here as we go into late next week, Thursday, Friday. We'll bring in more rain chances across Oklahoma. And then we'll get a secondary system that will come up here. This is Christmas Eve. I don't know if you see that on the very top, but that's going to be the morning of Christmas Eve. Rain across Oklahoma, and then another storm system out here to the west. And then that will swing through here as we go, waking up midnight on Christmas Eve, going into Christmas Day here. Another system swinging through here. So let me show you. So that's the GFS model. Let me show you the Euro model. The Euro model, so here's our storm system, swinging out of here right now. Then we go into next Friday. There's a lot of similarities that we see here, with rain basically spreading from Iowa back into Oklahoma. All rain with this. And then watching this system here spinning off the coast. And it drops way down to the south. And then comes up into Oklahoma. And notice how, so this is going to be Christmas Eve night. It is very wet across Oklahoma. Let me go ahead and just kind of zoom in here. Let me bring this a little bit closer, and let me go into Oklahoma so y'all can get some. I don't know why I'm so zoomed out. Here we go. Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, so here we are. Oops, you can't see that. There we are. Okay. So this is Christmas Eve night, rain, pretty wet across Oklahoma, and then snow out across the west. Now, the thickness levels are not very supportive of like there being I would say a great chance for snow, in that in order for it to snow, we need it to rain pretty hard and it to cool the column of air down in order for the air to chill to support snow. So we see that coming across the panhandle, and then Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, like waking up Christmas Day, this shows snow across northwestern Oklahoma and the panhandle, and rain across the rest of the state. So that's what we're watching. And I know it's a ways out. We have plenty of time to watch it. The forecast will probably change, a dozen times between now and then. But what I like is the amount of moisture that the models are pumping out as we go into next week. So this shows, once again, widespread. That shows 2 inches of rain. This is the Euro. 2 inches of rain across Oklahoma, the panhandle, western central Oklahoma, around 2 inches, southern, southeastern, and eastern Oklahoma, around 2.5 to 3 inches. We'll Stillwater see White Christmas. You know what? It is way too. It's way too soon to tell. I mean, right now you'll probably see a wet Christmas, Jack, but cannot. I would still put the chance for a White Christmas really anywhere in the state pretty low, based off of climatology. So the Euro shows another round of 2 inches of rain in the forecast for next week. The GFS shows, how much rain does the GFS show us for next week? Oops. The GFS shows, 1 to 2 inches of rain across the main body of the state, and about a quarter to a half inch of rain out across the panhandle. Michael says, will Guyman see White Christmas? There's a chance. There's a chance we'll be seeing a wet Christmas. Still think the chance for White Christmas is low. So the GFS shows a bunch of rain, 1 to 2 inches of rain going in. And then the Canadian shows widespread 2 to 3 inches of rain across Oklahoma. No, there will not be a 5 and a 6 o'clock news for tomorrow. Cold air for January. It is definitely starting to kind of track that way. I definitely see a lot more cold air coming in for the month of January there, Matthew. And a favored storm track across the south, which could bring in better snow opportunities as we go into January here. So let me show you the latest temperature anomaly. I see a lot. I mean, not that there's much cold air out there right now. There's none. But as we go into January, watch the air mass begin to change. This right here is a time frame between like the 6th of January to the 11th of January. Look at all the blue beginning to come in here. Those are temperatures below average. And also remember, during this period, this is statistically the coldest time of the year. So colder than normal in early January is equivalent to us saying hotter than normal at the end of July and into August when it's really hot. So, second week of January, look at all the cold coming across the United States. Quite a bit of it. And it just continues to come in here. So January is definitely looking quite cold for much of the month. I'm not too sure about the sports pregame shows. I doubt it. I don't think they're doing anything. But I don't know. So it looks cold. Let's see if it looks wet. We're cold. There we are right there. Wetter than normal. I'm looking for the blue and the green to come back in. And it's kind of there. There you go. By the end of January, I would say probably cold and snowy. Definitely looks like a pattern that will probably be with us for January, especially for the second half. Let's go beyond that. So this says wetter than normal, Oklahoma, January. Wetter than normal, February. Wetter than normal in March. January, that says warmer than normal. That'll be interesting. There's a little bit of conflict there. That'll be interesting to watch. Colder than normal in February. Colder than normal in March. Will I be in studio Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? I will. I will be here. I will be here. Oh, wow. Your mom's irises are blooming in December. Yeah, it has been pretty mild. It has been pretty mild for sure. So, all right. So here's the next 10 days. By the way, we start out the month of December. We start out the winter season, I should be saying, Thursday, high temperature of 60 degrees. Doesn't feel very winter-like, but we do have rain chances on the way. We'll make up for it, I'm sure, in the coming weeks. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. KOCO 5 News at 10 o'clock begins very soon in about 5 minutes. Friday night show. Evan's solo anchoring. I'm here. Elgin's here. So join us. See you on TV.